Children are born curious. From the first moments of life, they absorb huge amounts of information from the world around them. And that's great, because science is all about curiosity. If we can take the curiosity of kids and channel it into science, they have the potential to do amazing things. Science is a process that helps those systematically study the world around us by observation and experimentation. The goal of science is to look at the world, ask questions, and then investigate to find answers. The earlier we get kids doing science, and the more we pique their curiosity, the more engaged they'll be in the subject throughout life. For kids to do science, they need scientific tools. Thankfully, a lot of scientific tools are actually very simple. There are literally dozens of things that kids can use to investigate the world. Kids can use magnifying glasses, thermometers, pH test strips, rulers, tape measures, nets, measuring cups, microscopes, stopwatches, binoculars, telescopes, magnets, weighing scales, and many more tools throughout their scientific inquiry. Lots of companies sell kits full of scientific equipment and experiments for them to do. Let's go through a few of the ways this equipment can be used to investigate the world. Young biologists love to look at plants and animals. They're alive like humans, but very different. Kids can catch insects in a net and look at them under a magnifying glass, or they can look at leaves under the microscope and see what there is to be discovered. Being able to see things up close really helps you understand them in a new way. There are kits where kids can test the quality of water from the river and compare it to water from the tap. And of course, binoculars can be used to see animals at a distance, figuring out what they are and cataloging them in a notebook. Budding physicists can investigate static electricity by rubbing balloons on their hair and sticking them to walls. They can see how well different materials float in water and start to learn about how denser materials tend to sink. Children can play with north and south poles of magnets to see how magnetic fields make a compass change direction, or use a stopwatch to measure the time it takes for objects of different sizes to fall. Chemistry kids can inflate a balloon on a bottle using a mixture of vinegar and baking soda, learning about chemical reactions. They can measure temperature using a thermometer in the shade and in the sun to see how powerful the light in the sky really is. They can make their own slime, measure the acidity, pH of rain using pH test strips, and learn about freezing and melting with chocolate and popsicles. This seems like as good an excuse as any to make a delicious treat. There are endless experiments that kids can do if they have the right tools and a creative educator guiding them. The goal of science is to look at the world, ask questions, and then investigate to find answers. Since kids are curious, we can get them doing science early. They naturally want to know more about the world. Science tools that kids can use include magnifying glasses, thermometers, pH test strips, rulers, tape measures, nets, measuring cups, microscopes, stopwatches, binoculars, telescopes, magnets, and weighing scales. They can use these tools to investigate static electricity, density of floating and sinking objects, magnetism, the rate at which objects fall, chemical reactions, the heat from the sun, acidity, and state changes like freezing and melting. Once a kid has investigated all these things, their understanding of the world will be at an all-time high, as will their confidence in their ability to make sense of it.